I made a whole video yesterday about my One Book July update, and when I uploaded it, I realized I filmed it vertically. And then when I tried to flip it, it was this tiny little area. It didn't take up the whole screen. So I'm going to try it again today because it is hot and humid, and I have a big old flat tire on my car, totally flat. And I've never had to use my spare. So when the guy came from AAA to take it off, he couldn't even get it off. It was rusted on there. He even tried to use a hammer. So I'm working out the details of that, and I'm hanging out with Joey, who you can't see because she's in between all these pillows here, and Ventura, who you can see, who's having a very uncomfortable day because of his leg. I don't know whether it's the heat, the humidity, it's very stormy, but he's really uncomfortable. Plus, since there are thunderstorms around, he does not want to go out. So we get out to the end of, to my street, and he stops dead in his tracks. Don't you, baby? Don't you, baby? Aww. There's his brace. I haven't had his brace on in a while because as his leg changes shape, I think the brace fits him less well. But he was actually limping today, so I gave him his pain meds and I put his brace on, and hopefully he will go out at some point. And that was a very long, rambling, random 2 minutes. So just wanted to update. I'm still in the week on 2 pages with notes, still really happy with it. The other notebook I have in here is the one that I'm like doodling on or doing mock-ups for larger art. And then I realized what I really need to do is get serious about tracking some health symptoms. And for me, it has to do with restless legs. So I contacted Ray Blake, and his blog is right here, My Life All in One Place, if you don't know him from planner fame, and asked him to make me a regular Midori-sized notebook insert with a grid in black, split horizontally and vertically. Because what I wanted to do was alter Patrick Nung's Chronodex to make them 12-hour tracking tools instead of 24. Because what I want to track is symptoms, meds, sleep, and so I can eliminate certain things, foods primarily, food additives if I can narrow it down that far, but basically what is interfering with my sleep. And if you've ever seen my hyperdex cores and things like that, you know that my sleep usually looks like this. You know, an hour on, a half an hour off, an hour and a half on, a half hour off. And I mean, it's like all day long. I mean, really uncomfortable. So I made one recent diet change that actually allowed me to sleep an amazing amount of time. I mean, it was just a huge change for me. But what I did with this basically was I altered the hyperdex cores. I put a moon in the PM, well, actually 12 a.m. to 11:59 a.m. and the PM one, which starts at noon and runs till midnight. because I thought it would be easier for me, give me more room and around the core, and also it would just be better to see what I was sleeping day and night. I mean, this could obviously be modified for any something like diabetes, where you're tracking blood sugar in relation to food, in relation to how you feel, things like that. Or really anything. I mean, something like this would make, even if you just did a Chronodex core and did a 12-hour, like I did, a PM one, and used it as a sleep log, you know, that would be really good too. Now, that was the first day I used it, and what I found was the black grid was really too dark for me to write with anything besides a thick marker, and I didn't want to do that. So the next incarnation was much better for me. I did a lighter grid. I took the background color out of the core. I left the moon and the sun, and actually used Photoshop to attach the files. And so now when I print out the page, the whole thing, I bet I clipped this, the whole thing comes out there. So I have a left side with just a split grid and an AM and PM on the top. I actually think I might make a notebook of these to use as a 2-day per page, totally 2 page per day like this insert, because I don't know if you've seen any of my videos before I started One Book July, but I was really running out of room on this weekly spread, and I was having to add a lot of post-its and notes and things on top of it, and so having this extra space per day if I need it might really be a helpful thing. For now, I'm using it to mark down, it's basically a food journal, it's a med journal, it's a symptom journal, and that's all I'm using it for. And I've decided, another issue I had was with the cores was that everything always looked so haphazard when I did it. I would fill stuff in and there would be writing and arrows and stuff all over. And what I decided to do, since I was using the grid, was to do things as a flowchart. So this is a symptom, this is the meds I took, and I also took my another medicine at the time which wasn't restless leg related, so I didn't have to put it together, you know. So I've done this when I do multiple things at one time, so then I could do the main thing here and do however many offsheets. I mean, sometimes you take your medicine when you eat your dinner, you know, so you might want to do a lot of things at one time, and using a flowchart style for marking things makes it easier for things that don't happen at different times, but everything that happens in a very short period of time here is definitely more easily read using some sort of a flowchart system. And you know, I really have to say that One Book July has really been a wonderful thing. I know that, you know, it's set up to be one book, one pen, you know, 1 month, but for me, since I didn't use a lot of books, this has given me the opportunity to just strip everything I was doing back to zero. When I started, actually all I had was that notebook in there, and add what I need when I needed it. I started with just a black pen. When I needed color designations here, I added those. So I think I'm like on maybe 4 or 5 pens. And you know, finding out a system that's perfect for you and unique for you is a really good goal. I don't see, for me, you know, just sticking with something that's not working or not enough for 31 days just to complete a challenge, and August 1st change everything. I mean, my plan is to start from the minimum, which is a calendar, and add things as I go. I mean, the first thing I added was I taped a blank monthly calendar in here, and that was great. I mean, that's a really good thing to do for these because they're not dated, and this is I think the insert is designed to last maybe 6 months. So I mean, a couple things get knocked off, a couple weeks get knocked off, but I mean, I don't see that as an issue. So I'm considering actually continuing this in August. I'm going to continue my pictures in August, my little journal for art, which I've never had an art journal really, and this has been wonderful for me. It's the biggest benefit so far of One Book July, and I really think that while it's not the exact letter of the challenge, I really think it's the exact spirit of the challenge, to start with nothing and add what you need when you need it. And I'm absolutely enjoying everybody's videos. There's so much insight to be gained by watching other people, even if it's not a system you would use. Sometimes just something they say offhanded just springboards me into something that's perfect for me. And I've never made my own inserts before. These are inserts you can make yourself. I can't share these files. I can't sell these files because they're all free for personal use. But you can get the cores at Patrick's blog description. And I'm not sure if Ray put this on his website yet, but if he didn't, I have the file. I can probably send the file, or he may have put it up there. I'm not sure. But so thanks everybody for the wonderful inspiration this month, and I will update if there is something more to update. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.